Hi fellow ant keepers and welcome back to Ant Subong. It has been a milestone for this channel, and is almost reaching a 100 subscribers mark since I started this channel in January 2021. I am very honored that I have gotten the support from you guys. Being a standalone entity, Ant Subong do not have any form of advertisements, or have been in any social media and keeping community to date. I heavily rely on my supporters to get this far. Thank you so much, I couldn't have asked for more. Today, we will be looking into Tetraponera and its broods, particularly Tetraponera rufanigra species. I am making this video so that we can observe the journey of a fresh queen to her founding stages. We will follow her progress in a few-part series. Hopefully, it will span out to what I anticipate, a full-blown colony of my own. I just want to share a little bit of the past here. I have kept this species before, but unfortunately it wasn't a success. The queen had perished when it reached 15 workers. There is no way to know what had happened to her. Perhaps I was too casual with my care. The colony ended in the test tube, without being introduced to their new nest which I had made for them. I was gutted. So, I was very determined to start them over again, which I did later on, stumbling into a queen while at work. She eventually went on to create 5 workers, but I had let go the only young colony I had. Well, I sold it, at least I have made an ant keeper happier. It was a hard decision to let them go, knowingly I wanted the colony for myself. This time round I am making sure, I will hold on to one of them at least. This species did bring back a lot of my childhood experiences. I used to catch this species to pit against the all-black species of the same genus, Tetraponera nigra. I watched them fight to the end, it was a scene to behold, and it will last for hours. There wasn't any scientific names those days that I would know. So we just named them red sticks and black sticks ants, cause they looked like sticks, due to their slender body. I vividly recall when I was sitting under the big shady tree and branches would fall to the ground. Out comes the red stick ants from tiny holes which they made within the branches. The giant tree which they nested is called the saga tree. Scientifically known as Adenanthera pavonina, if you want to look it up. A little about this ant species for those who are not familiar with them. Tetraponera rufanigra, locally known as Samut selangor, is a large, bicolored ant species with a broad dark head and gaster and light red-orangey body. It is a monotypic species group, meaning having only one representative, as a genus with a single species. They are widely distributed around Asia region and as far west as some African nation. This ant is a potential health risk to the people around them. I was doing some research and in Malaysia, a case was reported that a victim was admitted to intensive care unit after being stung by Tetraponera rufanigra. The bite from this ant is very painful and sometimes causes considerable inflammation. Tetraponera rufanigra queen doesn't lay her eggs immediately, they usually will start laying after about few days of captivity. But mostly it depends on how we start with her founding setup. I will talk about the setup in another video. Here after 1 week she had laid quite a number of eggs. When it is freshly laid, the eggs looks pale white, but after a few days you will notice a yellow patch in the middle of the eggs. This is a sign of fertility. They are longer than other ant species, and not batten shaped like diacama ants. She doesn't really stack the eggs together either, just laid bare all over the surface of the test tube. A A little over the third week, they hatched and turned into larvae. They look like little stumpy caterpillars. The growth speed ranges, hence you can see different sizes of larvae. Some were still eggs. At this stage, they do need the queen's assistance to be fed, and she constantly watches over them. A few more days has passed, most of them has transformed into larvae, some grew even larger to about 5 millimeters. They are gut-loaded with food. Not much movement like you would see in Pomeranian ant species, with their elongated larvae necks that swirls around looking for something to eat. As I'm recording this, the queen was very anxious, and I tried to record as short as I can, so that I won't stress her out too much. I did not even use the video lighting, like I use on my other videos. I was afraid that I would cause her to panic and abandon her broods. This is a very critical stage of the formation of her first worker ant. This leads to the 5th week. As you can see here, Tetraponera larvae do not spin silk cocoons to help with the pupating stages. The pupae of some species spin a cocoon for protection, while Tetraponera rufanigra remain uncovered, or naked like most arboreal species. They remain naked and exposed, and it slowly start by taking up the shape of an ant, as you can see here. Pupae look more like an adult now, but their legs and antennae are folded against their bodies. They start out whitish and gradually will become darker. Before I end the video, I have more short bonus clip on the wild Tetraponera rufanigra, which you may want to see up close. Believe me, standing so close to them gave me the heebie-jeebies. I'm always on the lookout for them, especially on the ground, when I'm just wearing only sandals trespassing on their lands. This ant species is considered to be native to Malaysia from where I live. I know, you might think you want to keep this species of ants as well, after watching this and other video out there. It is not for beginners and certainly not for a first starter ant species to keep either. Not only because it is dangerous, but caring for them will take a little more experiences through keeping of other ant species. They prey on insects in the wild, and undeniably you will need to feed some insect feeders and not eggs, sausages, hams or even vegetables. It is in their nature to hunt, and from what I notice from the queen, she hunts by detecting movement, and lunge at her prey by biting and stinging at the same time. This excites the queen and encourages her to feed profusely, not for herself, but for her growing broods. Again, we have reached to the end of another video, hope you have enjoyed watching. So, with a little luck, we will be able to achieve the 100 subscribers mark. Thank you for watching, and Subong.